This is the Thomas J. Henry Sports Desk.
Massive week 7 of high school football on tap tonight, as always. Let's start with your game of the week. Let's jump right into it. It's the undefeated Johnson Jaguars and the always resilient Clark Cougars. Johnson is our number 2 team for our TNL Top 10 poll. They have a huge matchup next week against Reagan, our number 1 team, but they have to get through Clark first, and get through them they did. That's a touchdown right there by TCU commit Ty Hawkins. That made it 49-7. Then a little later, it's Bubba Johnson for Johnson into the end zone, 56-7. The Jaguars, they'll head into their massive matchup against the Rattlers next week, undefeated, looking for a district title. Churchill and Brandeis facing off at Heroes in the 28 6A district matchup. Second quarter, Charger quarterback Hunter Pavlicic. He's in some trouble with the snap, picks it up, and the Broncos are all over him. That's Carlos Garcia on the sack and Jacob Holmes on the scoop and score. Broncos up. Later, Churchill field goal is blocked. That's Deron Hall. He scores 2. The Broncos defense and special teams had a safety and 2 touchdowns in the first half. They win, and they go to 4-3 on the season. Let's get to some other scores. Clemens is up 42-28, and Judson, up 42-6 right now. Now the upstart Soto Cats taking on the boiling hot, undefeated Harlan Hawks in Ferris tonight. First quarter, it's senior Jaden Gutierrez. He finds a seam on the toss. He gone. That young man having a tremendous senior year for the inaugural Soto Cats. But the Hawks, they're undefeated for a reason. That's Noah Ferris throwing a bomb to their all-everything receiver, Peyton Matthews. That's a tie ball game. Harlan, they're in a tough one right now with Soto. They're up 31-24 late in the fourth quarter. The other big District 29 6A matchup was Warren and Brennan over at Gustafson Stadium. It was a dogfight in the first half. Caden Glass right there rolling out. He connects with Brandon Wells for the first down, but that drive ends up on a turnover on downs. Later on, the Bears, they come back with a huge punt block. That's senior Ryan Love with the block. Some huge special teams plays today, and then that right there, that's his brother Jason Love for the touchdown. Brennan, 10-0 lead. Now they're up 24-0 in the third quarter. Let's get to some other scores right now. Piper up on Kerrville, Tivy, 43-19. Davenport up on Taylor, 28-2. That's not a score you see very often. And Legacy losing to Laredo Martin, 28-0 in the fourth. Now the Bernie Champion Chargers on a magical undefeated start to their season under first-year head coach Blaine Ellis. Up 42-7 at the half. The Matadors of Seguin trying to get back into it. That's Corey Daly to Creed Weaver for the touchdown. But the ensuing kickoff. Now number 15 getting this kick is Sawyer Bully. That sounds familiar. It should. He made his mark on TNL a few weeks ago. He does it again tonight. Taking that one to the house. Chargers remain undefeated. They beat Seguin tonight 52-19 late in the fourth. Last highlight, huge District 14 5A matchup between Burbank and McCollum. Winner is in the driver's seat for second place behind Alamo Heights. Look at this. Bulldog quarterback Kevin Hernandez run. How many people did he get through? Like 7? My goodness, that's a touchdown. A little bit later, Hernandez, a deep shot. Izzy Zapata doing it with his arms and his leg. Burbank was on fire all night. They win 48-13. They're in the driver's seat as they move to 5-1. Some big games coming up tomorrow as well. We have Wagner taking on MacArthur over at Heroes. Our number 1 team in the TNL Top 10 poll, Reagan facing Madison over at Comalander. And what should be a great matchup between Stevens and Taft over at Ferris. Now the American League Divisional Series, it starts tomorrow. Half of the teams from right here in the Lone Star State, both the Astros and the Rangers, taken into the final 8 teams left standing. For the Rangers, it's been a slow rise. The big ticket free agent signings of guys like Marcus Simeon, Corey Seager being buoyed by the likes of youngsters Josh Young and Evan Carter. Today, Simeon says he knew the rise was possible now that the lineup has hit its stride.
You know, our goal last year was to be here. Obviously, we needed a lot of pieces. CY and ownership went out and got the pieces we needed. Our lineup has matured a little bit, and just experience has helped us get better. Corey and I have understood where we're at now in Texas, and what our routine is, and we're just like clockwork now.
And for the defending World Series champion Houston Astros, they've been resting up the past few days. The crew very familiar with October baseball, with this being their 7th straight year in the postseason. This team has had its stumbles, but if you're thinking they've lost their edge, think again.
We're really excited about doing it again, and every single guy out there just want to win. And when you want to do something, we find a way to make it happen. I know there is a lot of times since a team went back to back, but just the fact that we're here, we have a chance to do it. And like I said, we're going to play as a team and make every play possible and try to win it again.
The stage is set and the schedule is set. Game 1s will be on Saturday. The Orioles and the Rangers, first pitch just after noon. Astros and Twins going off at 3:45. Both those games on FS1. Game 2s both on Sunday. Coming up, a huge weekend of college football is upon us. The Red River rivalry writes its next chapter, and the Roadrunners, they're heading east to play Temple. Got that for you after the break.
This is the Thomas J. Henry Sports Desk.
A humongous game coming up for the UTSA Roadrunners this weekend. They're coming off the bye week and opening up their first ever American Athletic Conference game against Temple. For the Runners, the season hasn't been as smooth as they hoped, but they're hoping this is a get-right game for them. Coach Jeff Traylor, he's hopeful that his guys can get back to doing what they do best.
Since we've been here, we've been very verbal, vocal, visual. How many more V's can I think of there? With our triangle of toughness, that we're going to stop the run. And we've done that in half the games. We're going to run the football. We've done that in 3 out of 4 games. That's not our identity right now. So we've got to figure that out.
As for the third-ranked Longhorns, games do not get bigger than tomorrow. The Red River rivalry is back. This is the first time since 2011 that both Texas and Oklahoma have come in undefeated.